Hey everyone, it's Adam Melrose with Control Play, and let's talk about New Year's Eve automations. We love New Year's Eve, and we have some great tools for you to make this an amazing event or events on the 31st. Your player might already be set up with our quote unquote New Year's Eve automation. And if that's the case, then you might not need to do a whole lot here. But if it isn't, let's get it set up. So let's have a look at this player I have on the screen right now, and I will navigate to the automations menu here on the left. And then I'm going to scroll down to upcoming. And here we go. We've got the New Year's Eve countdown set to roll. Now, maybe I didn't have that. Let's flip to a player that doesn't. So, same story. We're going to navigate to the automations. And if we come down, we have nothing in the upcoming section. So, the software guys have made this very, very simple to set up. You're going to click on the little robot guy here in the upper right hand corner. Then you're going to select an automation type, follow the little red dot, right? And then scroll all the way to the bottom and bam, here we go. New Year's Eve automation. We're going to click on that, and most of this information is already set up for us. Now, there's a cool new tool here as well called Recur Annually. It's set to no, but you could set this to yes. And guess what? Next year, this will just happen for you. So I'll click on save in this case. We'll leave that as no just for this example. Hit save, and now I should have in my upcoming section a New Year's Eve countdown. Now let's have a look at what that looks like right now. So we'll navigate over to the scheduler. And here's what's really cool on the schedule is you have the ability to obviously see what's going on today. You could pick this week, you could pick a very specific day, or again, software guys are awesome. They've made it where we could just go right to New Year's Eve, which will immediately show you December 31st, 2023 in this case. Um, and then what we could do is have a look at the entire day. So here's my normal automations. I've got my daytime playlist, burger special, patio mix, all this good stuff happening. Now at noon, we get a 12-hour countdown. And then every hour sequentially, we get another hour countdown to midnight. As we get closer, though, at 7:30, we get a 4.5 hour. Same thing at 8:30, we get a 3.5, 2.5 at 9:30, and we can roll down to 11 p.m. Then we get a 45, a 30, a 20, a 15, a 10, and then 5 minutes to the hour, a pre-produced mix will load up that actually plays the countdown announcements, couple of songs, and leads us right into the 10-second countdown, as well as Old Lang Syne and all that good stuff afterwards. So you could have this set, and this will just run all day. And you can be bouncing around different playlists, but just understand at 11:55, it will hard switch over to this 5-minute countdown. So that's if you're only running a midnight party, then this is perfect. Let's say though you're doing a couple of family countdowns or just alternative party types for different countdowns throughout the day. I've talked to somebody the other day that's doing like 4 of these every 2 hours. So regardless of your setup, let's talk about the content that you have at your disposal as well. So what we do have are New Year's Eve countdowns that are 10 minutes long, that have 10 minutes of music, 10 minutes of countdown messaging in it as well, the 10-second countdown at quote unquote midnight, and then Old Lang Syne and a song afterwards. So there is an adult rated, a kids or family version of this, and a PG version of this. So let's say for this example, I'm running a 6 p.m. family New Year's Eve countdown, and I want to use this 10-minute countdown. Two options. I could just come at, like, let's say 6 p.m. was the midnight hour at 5:55 or 5:50. I could just play this on the fly, add it in the playlist, hit next. Or if we know specifically it's 6 o'clock, we're going to need the staff prepped up for that. We could click on this New Year's Eve PG version. And then again, software guys, thank you. At the bottom of this little options menu on the right side, there's an option to add this to an automation right from here. So what we can do is click on add to automation. And then here we go. We've already got this filled in. Task, play the content, New Year's Eve, PG, 10 minutes. But this is only going to happen on the 31st. So I'm going to change this option up here from weekly recurring automation to a fixed date automation. And then we will go and pick the actual date because we only need this to happen on the 31st. So I've done that now. So we're fixed date automation. We're going to play the content, the New Year's Eve, PG, 10 minutes. This needs to happen, as we said, at 5:50 p.m. So we've changed all of that. And recur annually. I mean, if you're going to do a 6 p.m. next year, yes or no, up to you. This is going to target this player. If you have a group and this is happening in multiple zones, you could change that to a group. And then the question here of time critical, we do probably want to switch this to yes. And if you're unfamiliar with this setting, If you leave this as no, it'll just add it as the next playable item. But if you leave it, if you switch it to yes, it'll actually fade down whatever's happening at 550 and start up this piece of content. So for this case, if we're wanting to guarantee that it's 6 o'clock that this plays, we can go in and set that up. So let's hit save on that. And now we've got an automation set for the 31st, which should also be in our upcoming section. Here we go, 5:50 p.m. New Year's Eve countdown, PG 10 minutes. So let's say we're doing an 8 o'clock, we would just rinse and repeat, do this at 7:50 for that 8 o'clock countdown. In the Experience Plus menu, in the in-season section as well, other than all the Christmas content, there's a variety of content here in the New Year's Eve folder. If you want to see everything that's in here, click on the little magnifying glass, and you can see essentially all those countdown messages that are preset are in here as well. So let's say you don't want to use the master automation and you just wanted to set this up yourself for a couple of different countdowns based on your business needs, that can be done. Or more importantly, you can get a hold of us and we can help you look after that as well. But there's some pretty cool countdown information in here. So things like just the 10-second countdown audio, if you just want to use that, I would suggest maybe making that a button on your dashboard screen. And all you got to do is click on it and then go add to favorites. And then that will send us back to the dashboard screen. We can pick a button. And now we have that New Year's Eve countdown finale on here. So whether you're using the remote on a mobile device or you've got the player on a desk somewhere that you can fire this off, you could come here and just understand you're going to click on this. It's going to fade the music down, do the 10-second countdown. The beginning of this does a little like, okay, here we go. And then it starts it. So it's not just an immediate startup on this. So a couple of considerations to think about. If you on the 31st have a variety of automations already set up in your player, you're going to want to have a look and just make sure nothing's going to interfere, at midnight. Seasonal content will win every time in an automation, but I would just double check that you don't have a variety of different changes on that night. If you need help changing that up, again, get a hold of the support team or the playlist team and we can look after that for you. But I would just make sure you don't have a piece of content that plays at midnight per se, if that countdown thing's going to be happening then. Or if you're doing that mock show at 6:50 or 5:50, like we said earlier, make sure there isn't a piece of content at 6 o'clock that's going to try and load while you're playing that. So again, if you need help with that or just auditing what you're doing, we want New Year's Eve to be a super success. So get a hold of us through the chat, email, or phone at any time because we love to help. We hope you have a great New Year's Eve.